Hey YouTube, I put together a short video on how to dynamically update IP tables using a NOIP hostname with a short bash shell script. And for this video we're going to be using a $5 DigitalOcean Droplet just for testing purposes. So the issue I was having, every time my ISP changed my home IP address, I'd have to manually go in and update the IP tables rules. I ran across some snippets of code while I was searching around for a solution. I tweaked it up a little bit, and this seems to work pretty well. So the first thing we need to do, as always, is create a droplet and then update it and upgrade it, which generally, takes you about 2 minutes, if that. I'll go ahead and speed things up here so you don't have to look at it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to install iptables persistent. And when it asks you to save the rules, just go ahead and say yes to that. After that, then go ahead and reboot. So what I like to do is normally go over to like random.org and pick out just some random string that nobody would ever be thinking to use, and create a host name. I like to use ddns.net, but I think they have about 30 or 40 different top level domains you can pick from. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to create a file. I called mine homeipallow.shell or .sh. And I'll leave a link to my website so you can just copy and paste all the code in there. Basically, it's just a short shell script to do the update. Go ahead and save that. And I put it in user local bin. You can put it in bin, sbin, wherever you want to, because ultimately we're going to put it in a cron tab entry that's going to run every 5 minutes. And don't forget to mark the file chmod +X so that it's executable. Now I've commented the file here so you can see what everything's doing. This was a much shorter script that I had found, and put some more comments in it, and then made some changes that work for me. You can do what you want to with it. I'll also put the link to where I found it and give credit to the person on their website in the comments below. And then again, I said I just move it over here to user local bin. So iptables-s is going to show you what the default rules are. And these are the ones we saved over in Etsy iptables rules. I think it's v4. So if anything goes wrong, you can just reboot and you won't be locked out. You can start over again. That's the random host name I picked on NOIP, and just use the host command. You see what the address is. Now what I'm going to do here is just going to run it manually so I can check the output. And as an argument, we're feeding the home IP allow shell script the NOIP host name. I added all the echoing commands so that I could, as I was testing, see what was going on. You can take those out if you want to. So here's the most important thing. The tables, the way it reads is that you're going to jump to the name H8VG62, whatever, and then you're going to allow that address, which I've got to grayed out because it's my home address, but there's an IP address there with a 32 net mask, and you're going to allow that address, and then after it executes that rule, it jumps back to the A input P TCP dport 22 J drop, so that anything else is going to just be dropped and not even processed. So I want this to be something that runs every 5 minutes to check and see if my IP address at my house has changed. And that's what this cron tab entry does. And that's also over on the website, so you can just copy it in. Now the reason I did not save the prior screen like to the rules.ip v4 in the etc directory is because I want to have 5 minutes. If I have to reboot it manually by going into the DigitalOcean control panel and just manually reboot it by the interface, I want to have 5 minutes of no rules at all so that I can recover if there's a mistake, if I find out something wasn't working right. If I wrote it to those rules in, then I'd be facing the same issue, and then I'd have to open up a shell and reset the root password and all that kind of thing. And I didn't feel like doing that. So now after 5 minutes, that's the extent of called the attack window. As long as I don't reboot the server, once every 3.5 months, I'm the only one getting in on 22, and everybody else trying to pound the server is just going to get the packets dropped. I think if you all out there have any idea, you can get some massively large files just having the script kiddies hit port 22 24 hours a day. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped somebody. Again, I'll leave the links down below so you can just copy the code in. Thank you.